In this example, we're going to graph the linear inequality y less than negative 2x minus 5. To start, we're going to graph the corresponding equation as a dashed line. So we want to graph all xy pairs such that y is strictly less than negative 2x minus 5. And to do this, we're going to graph y equals negative 2x minus 5 as a dashed line, and that'll separate the less than side from the greater than side. So as our first step, we're going to graph y equals negative 2x minus 5 as a dashed line. And I'm emphasizing that it's a dashed line because this strictly less than sign that we see that's given indicates that we want just values of y that are less than negative 2x minus 5, not less than or equal to, which is one option with an inequality. We have just that strictly less than sign. And to do this, to graph y equals negative 2x minus 5, we'll note that the slope here, we have m equal to negative 2, and the y-intercept will be 0, negative 5. So coming over to our graph, I'm going to label the axes with x and y, and then I'm going to scale them, and I'll make each tick mark equivalent to 1 unit. So I'll scale them with 5 and 10 on the x and y axis, and then I'll also mark off negative 5 and negative 10. And so plotting this line, I'm going to go to 0, negative 5. And then my slope is negative 2. So I can think of that as negative 2 over 1, or I can think of that as 2 over negative 1. Thinking of that as negative 2 over 1, I'll go down 2 units, right 1 unit, and so I'll be at the point 1, negative 7. I can go down 2 units, right 1 unit again, and I'll be at the point 2, negative 9. So at this point, I only have a couple points in this fourth quadrant. If I want to get a couple more points, I could go up 2 units, left 1, and thinking of that slope of negative 2 as positive 2 over negative 1 helps me realize that I can also go up 2, left 1. So doing that, I'd be at negative 1, negative 3, and then I can continue, and I'll just plot a few more of those. Okay, so now I'm going to connect all of these with a dashed line. So I'll grab my ruler, and then I'll line it up with these points. And now that it's lined up, I'll draw that as a dashed line. And in this case, I'm going to clean up some of these oversized points that Okay, now I've got a nice clear dashed line, and I'll put arrows on it to show it continues. And so now I have that separating line, and now I need to shade the region representing where y is less than negative 2x minus 5. And so this is going to be half of this plane. And there are a couple different methods that we can look at to know which half we need to shade. But when we're looking at this in slope-intercept form, we know that we need y values that are less than negative 2x minus 5. So I'm going to go to the side of the graph that goes down from here. So looking at my line, I'm going to shade this lower region. As such, and I'll fill it in. You'll note that this works a little bit better with a pencil than it does with this electronic pen. But I have that separating line that's dashed, and then I've shaded half of that. And so what I've drawn on this graph is all ordered pairs representing that satisfy y strictly less than negative 2x minus 5. And that's my graph of that linear inequality, y less than negative 2x minus 5.